Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Desperate search on for missing 2-year-old in Clarendon. A desperate search is now being carried out in a Clarendon community to locate 2-year-old Jamil Mendez, who was last seen on Thursday afternoon. His mother, Kira Williams, who could hardly hold back the tears, told reporters that she gave him a bath sometime after 3 p.m. and he then went next door to the neighbor's house to play. My man ran on him and I said I was going to get him something to eat and nobody saw him. We searched all about, she said. During the frantic search, Williams said she was told by a man who was on his way home from work and who saw a photo of her son that he saw the child in the front of a Toyota Probox motor car in the vicinity of where she lives in Rasta Corner, Freetown. We are all down right now. I don't know who would have wanted to take my baby. I am asking please for his safe return. If anyone sees him, please call the police or me. I just want my baby home, Williams pleaded. Deputy Superintendent Cardoso, head of operations for Clarendon Police Division, confirmed that a report was made to the Mapen Police on Thursday night. Man fatally shot by police in St. Mary, Indicom probing. The Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom, is probing the fatal police shooting of a man in Enfield District on Outer Bay, St. Mary, on Thursday night. He's been identified as 27-year-old Kemar Duhaney, otherwise called Blacks or Tutu. The incident reportedly occurred about 11:30 p.m. in the vicinity of the Enfield Health Center. The police reported that 2 cops were on mobile patrol when a man was reportedly seen with a knife walking along the Enfield Main Road. It is alleged that the cops requested a search of the man's person. It is further reported that Duhaney pointed a firearm in the direction of the police when they attempted to approach him. One of the cops discharged his weapon during the incident. Duhaney was pronounced dead at the Outer Bay Hospital. According to Indicom, a 9mm pistol without a serial number was reported as recovered from the deceased man. The firearm and the hands of the deceased were swabbed for DNA testing, said Indicom. It said the scene was processed and forensic exhibits collected. The alleged recovered firearm, as well as the weapon of the concerned officers, were boxed and sealed for submission to the forensic lab for ballistic testing. The body of the deceased was also bagged and sealed for storage pending post-mortem examination. Initial accounts were provided by 2 cops and a witness. Canvassing was also conducted by Indicom's investigative team. The police were served with notices to provide statements and or attend the commission's office to be interviewed. Veer Technical Principal dies. Principal of Veer Technical High School in Clarendon, Anthony Ellis, has died. Education Minister Favor Williams has confirmed. She passed away on Thursday. Very sad. We pray for strength for the family and the school community, Williams told reporters yesterday morning. PNP denounces desperate fake WhatsApp conversations. The People's National Party PNP is denouncing fake WhatsApp conversations purportedly involving its president Mark Golden. The party says it has reported the matter to the cybercrime unit of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. It called the actions desperate and defamatory. According to the PNP, the fake messages were concocted to divert the public's attention from the government's handling of the wage negotiations with various public sector groups. The government has this week been faced with industrial unrest in the public service. The PNP says it stands by its position that the government has been arrogant and high-handed in its communication and handling of the negotiations with the public sector groupings. It is urging the government to rethink its approach and work with the unions to ensure that civil servants are justly compensated. Psychiatric evaluation ordered for a woman who injured policewoman in Spanish Town. A psychiatric evaluation has been ordered for a St. Catherine woman who attacked and injured a policewoman. Sheena McCrae, 30, unemployed, of a Spanish Town address, was remanded to an institution where she will receive supervised professional mental care. Sheena, who is charged with unlawful wounding and who is said to be mentally challenged, appeared in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Friday. Her appearance in court arose from an incident that allegedly occurred in front of the Spanish Town police station along Burke Road. Allegations are that about 3 p.m. on April 22nd, the inspector of police was walking in the vicinity of the police station where she works when she was allegedly attacked from behind by a woman. The accused hit her with a stone, which resulted in a wound which bled profusely. The injured policewoman was then rushed to the nearby Spanish Town Hospital, where she was treated. Sheena was subsequently arrested, and following an investigation, she was charged with unlawful wounding. Recently, the police, along with mental health practitioners, held a conference in St. Catherine on how to handle encounters with these street persons. Civil Service Union to withdraw strike notice. The Jamaica Civil Service Association says it will be withdrawing a notice that its more than 30 members who are government workers would have strike on Monday. The development follows a meeting between the union and Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark yesterday. The JCSA issued a 72-hour strike notice on Thursday, claiming that Finance Ministry had not been properly addressing its concern about the ongoing compensation review and an outstanding wage claim. Both Clark and the JCSA President O'Neill Grant have issued statements. Grant said his union has received assurances from Clark that the outstanding wage claim for the period 2021 to 2022 period will be speedily addressed in good faith. And he said the Finance Minister expressed openness to getting feedback on the proposed discontinuation of JCSA negotiated benefits. The government has proposed to change compensation for the public sector, and that includes potentially removing benefits such as concessionaries loan, education grants, tuition refund, qualification increments, motor vehicle duty concession, and various overall transportation allowances. The JCSA is satisfied that the concerns expressed in our recent correspondence have been materially addressed and looks forward to the settlement of its 2021-2022 claim ahead of the implementation of the compensation review, Grant stated. Meanwhile, in a separate statement, Clark said yesterday's meeting was an opportunity for frank dialogue and discussion. Clark's involvement for the JCSA is frowning on a response Wednesday from the ministry's financial secretary, Darlene Morrison, that the union said was not very respectful. Dr. Clark said the JCSA's leadership felt strongly that the benefits to be discontinued should have been presented to them directly rather than through the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, JCTU. I understand their position, and I understand how this may have led to a misinterpretation of our intent, though through the circumstances in which these were presented to the JCTU, it is clear that no ill was intended, he said. The finance minister said he told the union that the government must retain the right to make proposals for the efficient use of states' resources with an expectation that civil discourse will follow. But he said the position on the benefits issue is neither final nor non-negotiable. The JCSA felt the government had already decided to axe the perks. The Ministry of Finance and the Public Service is simply grappling with the simple fact that the cost of delivering some of these benefits on a per capita basis is disproportional to what would be considered reasonable. In a country categorized by a chronic shortage of resources, these realities cannot be ignored, Clark explained. Both parties have committed to strengthen the harmonious relationship between them, starting with a meeting next Wednesday to commence a series of talks. The JCSA, however, said some of its members remain restive. St. Anne Municipality CEO cleared over installation of controversial charging port. Wavell Morris, the Chief Executive Officer of the St. Anne Municipal Corporation, has been cleared by the Office of the Services Commission of any wrongdoing in relation to the installation of a charging port at the local authority. The port was installed for use by former Mayor Miguel Belnavis to charge his electric vehicle. Anti-corruption body, the Integrity Commission, had recommended in January that Morris be sanctioned for authorizing the installation of a 220-volt charging port at the St. Anne Municipal Corporation, so Belnavis could charge his hybrid motor vehicle. The Integrity Commission deemed that Morris contravened the law when he carried out Belnavis' request to install the charging facility for his personal use. In an interview to reporters Thursday night, Morris disclosed that he attended a meeting at the Commission earlier that day where the matter was settled with him being cleared. I'm feeling relieved, especially because of public perception. If you understand, public perception would have it that you're corrupt and so on, which the headline did say, Murray stated. In a sense of relief and reprieved, as a normal human being, not only as a CEO. In coming to its conclusion, the Integrity Commission at the time noted that no permission was given by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Local Government, Marsha Henry Martin, to install the charging facility. In a special report, Kevin A. Stevenson, Director of Investigations at the Integrity Commission, charged Bell Navis for the request to have been charging port installed, deeming it an abuse of his office to have public resources used for personal use. Morris, who said to have breached Section 17 of the Public Bodies Management and Accountability Act when he acceded to the request by Bell Navis. The Integrity Commission said Bell Navis repaid the sum of $78,000, which was the cost to install the charging port. The installation of the charging port was one of the series of controversies that ultimately led to Bell Navis stepping down as mayor. Morris said since the incident, measures have been put in place to prevent a recurrence. From the initial time, added measures have been put in place, so definitely I have to be more stringent on the processes going forward, he said. New St. Andrew Custos vows to weed out rogue JPs. Newly installed St. Andrew Custos in Forbes has vowed not to tolerate any semblance of impropriety among the 2,167 Justices of the Peace, JPs, serving in the parish. Following his installation by Governor General Sir Patrick Allen on Thursday, Forbes pleaded to wholeheartedly embrace the ideas of his office in supervising the justices empowered to serve in St. Andrew, which has an estimated population of 570,000. The Custos charged that, in order to be effective of the law, JPs must first be prepared to uphold the highest conduct and integrity, ensuring that they are fit and proper to execute their duties. A zero-tolerance approach will be taken toward any justice of the peace found in breach of the regulations and the responsibilities of the Office of the Justice of the Peace, and I can assure you that they will be held accountable for their actions. Forbes warned during his maiden speech at the event held at the Hope Royal Botanic Gardens in Kingston 6. He also urged citizens to be mindful of their behavior. I also implore the citizens of Jamaica to ensure that they also uphold their very own character and integrity and not seek special favors from the justices that will be place them in an uncomfortable and compromising position with the law. We need all hands on deck to ensure that law and order are upheld by all parties, Forbes said. Earlier in his exhortation to the Custos, Sir Patrick Allen admitted that on April 11, exposed on the questionable conduct of JPs across several parishes had caused him a great deal of discomfort. You can understand, therefore, how dismayed I am at the very disturbing situations which I read and hear about in the recent media reports about unethical conduct of some justices of the peace. Time will not permit me to recount the embarrassing allegations and accusations of corruption and misuse of the JPs, said Sir Patrick. In recent times, it appears that there is an increase in unacceptable conduct. I encourage you, Custos Forbes, to act with such matters as reported and are proven against any justice of the peace who goes astray. Be vigilant in your vetting of applications. Ensure that only persons who are responsible, reliable and accountable, and who demonstrate the highest integrity are recommended as justices of the peace, the Governor General added, even as he thanked all the JPs who have been serving faithfully and are being role models in their communities. Keep up the good work, he urged them. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.